Hello, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 19 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 217, and in today's episode we need to start off with a bit of a Champions League based, or one of the current promo based SBC challenges, and then we will continue on in our weekend league journey. So the one that came out on the very first night was actually very good. It didn't really cost too much, and you get a rare Electrum players pack for it. So I was able to use players from the off leagues that I wasn't necessarily using for league SBCs, and able to complete it like that. And luckily I've got like 2 players in my club that are UCL. I don't have anything else other than that. Now, unfortunately for me, we don't really get anything. But what we have done by doing that SBC is basically turn a bunch of players that were from off leagues that I couldn't shove into league SBCs into some golds here and some silvers, which hopefully are from leagues which I can put into SBCs. So I definitely toyed with the idea this week of not really doing the weekend league, kind of skipping it, because I wanted to see if I could continue on this grind. Because what it does, I want to get to a point where I'm earning solid money, rather than, like, at the moment we're putting a lot into it to try and fill our club up, and then I'm guessing once it all tops off a little bit, then that's when the money starts to come in. If I'm doing it right, I might be doing it wrong and just wasting loads of coins, but it's difficult to make that content into a video. So yeah, even though the weather is about as beautiful as it's been so far this year in the UK, I sat there and played champs, which I definitely didn't really want to do. But, you know, first game of the day, we're 3-0. We come up against a guy with 3 icons and genuinely a nice squad. So I thought, okay, maybe this is going to be quite difficult, but we'll give it a go anyway. So Mbappe pushes it forward to Pogba, back to Mbappe. Yeah, 1-0. 1 minute and 17 seconds on the clock when I scored that. So a pretty good start, you might say. But it didn't really last for long. 6 minutes on the clock. I clear it poorly, and Ibra turns a couple of times on me, strikes it green. And you know, when flashback Ibra strikes it green, his shots are just going to rifle into the back of the net. There's so much power on them, right? So yeah, anyway, we're 1-1 at this point. This guy was fairly decent on the sticks, you know. I was not comfortable in the slightest when coming up against this guy. Half time, I was 2-1 up very luckily at the end there, but I wouldn't say I deserved it. You can see by the stats there that my opponents just had a slightly better game than me. However, we bring on our 3 substitutes, yeah, including our super sub Christian Vieri, to see if he can possibly do something for us in the second half to, you know, hopefully see this game out, maybe extend our lead. And we get through with Vieri here, cut inside past David Luiz, and I just go for a finesse shot, and it just works out. And once again, he's been on the pitch 4 minutes and he's somehow managed to find himself a goal. He just is super clinical for us. So yeah, glad that I brought him on, because once again proving that he's a decent super sub on this game. And it'll be sad one day when we eventually stick him into an icon SBC somewhere down the line, but for now we won't do that. But my opponent was busy flicking it up and trying to hit volleys and stuff all game, and he finally scores a flick up cross header. So I run down the other end and do the exact same thing to him, just to show him that anything he could do, I could do better. And it is Vieri again who actually gets on the score sheet twice this match. And he is the difference in the end. You know, we win 4-2, get that 2-goal difference. And that was such a close game. I kind of pulled away a little bit at the end, but it definitely wasn't easy. Now, anyway, guys, I haven't asked you to yet. If you wouldn't mind doing me a massive favour on this Sunday, Easter Sunday, and smashing a thumbs up on today's video, that would be very much appreciated. Yeah, guys, hit me with a thumbs up. Hit me with a like. Let's aim for 2,000 likes today. Now, this might be the first time I've come up against Foot Birthday, Martial. I just genuinely don't see anyone using him. So, didn't know what was in store for me here. However, we push on, you know, very early from kickoff once again. And then Pogba plays it into Aubameyang, and we go 1-0 up again. So, I feel like with the 4-1-2-1-2, the passing angles and stuff from kickoff are actually pretty solid. You know, that could be a great thing, because going 1-0 up so early reminds me back in the day when the finesse shots worked and I was able to score them. But I've literally not cut here. So my opponent took kickoff. He ran down one end. I took it off him, ran down the other end, and went 2-0 up. brilliant. You know, it genuinely couldn't have really gone much better for us. And when it hits 3-0 after 10 minutes, my opponent decides to rage quit. And that was as much as I've ever played against Footmas Martial. Yeah, just obviously didn't get into the game. I had a super strong start and had, 69% of possession, 3 goals from 4 shots. I might have quit at that point as well. Next game then, 4-1-2-1-2 side, obviously likes doing an SBC or two. He's got that Juan Mata that normally causes me a bit of problems. Ducore causes me problems. But whenever I see centre-back Lukaku, I'm like, yeah, all right. That was a rookie move doing that one. Hopefully I'm going to be okay against you. And after some really nice passing moves, 36 minutes into the game, I had so many opportunities like that which didn't quite work out for me. That final pass didn't work. And then one did work. But then he literally runs down the other end just a few minutes later and scores with Shevchenko. I think that's prime Shevchenko, right? To equalise, to go 1-1 just before half-time. But you can see how many opportunities I'd had. 15 shots in the first half. It's kind of rare. I should have scored more than 1 goal. You know, I was genuinely dominating this guy. And find myself 2-1 down. So eventually I had to go that 3 at the back and push and, go on my super attacking team. And he destroyed me with this Shevchenko. He didn't deserve it. Like, I guess he come back a little bit in the second half, as you can see with the shots there. Maybe he did deserve it. But at the time I felt super hard done by. Took my first loss of the weekend league to a hat-trick to prime Shevchenko. If I was going to win that one, I needed to score a lot more in that first half when I was clearly dominating. So we'll put that one completely the blame on myself. And, well, we'll give him a little bit of credit for that Shevchenko masterclass. But I mean, that's probably one of the worst goals you've ever seen from the start. Like, we get the early kickoff goal, but it wasn't pretty in the slightest. 7 minutes on the clock, though. He somehow gets a couple of bounces, feeds it through to Richarlison, and he gets that equaliser. And I was like, ugh. I don't know. That was nearly as ugly as my goal. But anyway, Pogba takes a touch, gets very lucky off of the defender again. Like, the bobbles in this match were horrendous. Literally going for each of us as well. But we're 2-1 up at this point. Mbappe then plays it through to Aubameyang into Richarlison. Once again, man, just looking at these back, it's kind of ridiculous when you see like how it touches the defenders and they don't clear it. And it was happening genuinely for both teams. Pogba into Torreira, and Torreira bangs it roof of the net, and at 4-1, you're just like, okay, well, I'm fairly certain that I'm confident that I'll win this one. 60% possession, 8 shots, 6 on target. We managed to get 4 goals from that. Definitely being a lot more clinical in the first half of this game to make up for the last one. I give a penalty away in the 60th minute. Lacazette is there to score, but we were able to hold out. He went a lot more high pressure in the second half, and I genuinely didn't have much room to pass the ball and stuff. He went super constant pressure. So GGs were trying to get back into it, but we were just too many goals ahead, so it was easier to just hold the game out and make the very most of it and get the points. So next one, Prem team. Again, someone else that obviously likes SBCs. You do come up against a lot of those sorts of people. I mean, I am one of those people. My squad is like 80% SBC, probably 90% SBC, I don't know. But we get through, 15 minutes on the clock, Mbappe's there, and I strike that one green just because I didn't have the angle to just hit a normal shot. So if it was going to go into that near post, I kind of needed it to be extra perfect. So I luckily hit it green and we're all good. But that time I had the angle, so I could just finesse it around the goalkeeper into that far post. And 17 minutes on the clock, literally I scored my first one after 15. So we just hit him with 2 goals really quick. He decided to quit, and I'm very thankful for those ones because they're the slightly easier games which make the weekend league a little bit more capable, I don't know, like doable, I guess. But next game, nice team, very nice squad, definitely something to be worried about. He's got Primer, Blanc, he's got Baby R9, who he gets the ball through to early doors, or 34 minutes on the clock actually, should I say. And that's when I remember this game. I fully deserved this game. I was dominating. I had loads of opportunities, but the goals just went to him. And I was like, I'm just getting unlucky here. But yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes that happens. I played through past the 2-0 because if I thought I deserved it, you know, maybe we could get a goal back and then it'd be all right. But you can see that I'm just literally giving it back to him every single time. He scores again and I'm like, you know what, we're out 3-0 down. This game's not going to go my way. I'll move on to the next weekend league match. And we come up against this nice squad, mixed between the Serie A and the Prem. He's got a Cristiano Ronaldo. He's got a red Felipe Anderson. And I didn't notice, actually, that red 93 De Gea. This is obviously someone that maybe plays quite a lot of weekend league. I also remember this game as well. This one frustrated the hell out of me. So he goes 1-0 up with Ronaldo. And 6 minutes on the clock, I'm like, oh god, this is not going to be good. But we get the kickoff goal, and fairly luckily, like, we strike it, and then it just goes in off of that De Gea. And watch what he does. He, like, kickoffs, and in rage, he, like, plays it back to his goalie and scores an own goal. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a viewer. They want to give me the win. Thank you. Really appreciate it. But at that point, he just played on. And I think the David De Gea mistake to let that goal in, a little bit like the one that went in real life during the week, kind of fueled this guy's fire. And he obviously knew he was a better player than me. There's no other reason why he would do that. He was toying with me the whole game. But then I got shushed on, and he scores again and shushes me again. I'm just like, I'm out of here. I was raging at this point. I was stressed out. I don't know. Just seemed like he was obviously fairly toxic. So, yeah, we're out of there. See you later, pal. Enjoy your win. We'll move on to the next one. All salty and angry. And at this point, it's starting to heat up a little bit. You know, it is 24 degrees outside, and it's sunshine. I can see it through the window behind you. And I'm like, I want to be out there. I don't want to be playing the weekend league. And I was at the end of my tether. But we go 1-0 up in this match. 22 minutes on the clock. We just kept the ball in the air with Marcos Alonso, who, that's what I was going to say, actually. With the 4-1-2-1-2, I love the 1-2 passing play, but I've got no distribution from my goalkeeper anymore. I used to LB-wide, like, loft that ball up to the left cam, right cam, all the time, and now I don't have that. Sometimes from a goal kick, like Marcos Alonso or my right back Aurier will push up, but not lately. You know, every now and again it will happen, but it's nowhere near as much as what I used to have. So that's one area of my game which I now lack in, and that was a big part of my attack, was just lumping it forward and then creating from that. Anyway, latter stages of this one, he gets the equaliser, which really frustrated me because I thought we were going to be able to hold it out. And at the end of the game, we go into extra time. At the end of extra time, we go into penalties, and well, I don't know. Couple games in a row just felt like things. I was just stressed out, I guess, and you start playing stupid when you're stressed. So we're gonna end up losing from this penalty shootout and you can see it. Like, I'm the one that, like, missed the penalty. I clearly went one way and he saved it, which was just super obvious, and then sticking it down the middle, you know, he was able to save that as well. So it's just awful penalty shootout for me. If I could have closed that game out in 90, we'd been at 8 wins and only 3 losses, and it wouldn't have been that bad. But we're 7-4 right now. Really, really poor start to the weekend league. I've got 7 games to win as well, which I'm going to leave for Sunday. So hopefully, pray for me. Fingers crossed for me today. Whilst you're watching this, I'm probably sweating out the weekend league, hopefully trying to get some wins. But a bunch of the bronze stuff has sold again. Like, these are just the duplicate players, which I already have, so I'm just selling them. Like, attribute cards sold, some squad fitnesses. I've decided to start selling them now to start seeing a little bit of return on my money, because I've got loads of individual fitnesses. I've actually got loads of squad fitnesses as well. So any new ones that I pack, as I'm constantly doing bronze pack method, will just be sold now because you can get a good amount of coins for them. So, yeah, I mean, my team itself, I like it. I do like it. I'm struggling with the 4-1-2-1-2 at this point in time. Aurier and Alonso, as you can see on screen, are both upgraded to 89 overall, so that's great. They did come through on Friday night and boost those guys after their European victories throughout the week. So, yeah, I do have a slightly better defense than I had before. Guys, that is the end of the episode. Do me a massive favor, hit that thumbs up button, support the series, and I greatly love you for it. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Insta. Those links can be found down below in the description. But most importantly, hope you all have a lovely day, everyone, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.